What's good, Storm fans? It's Bryant Cook, and today we're playing Gruul Storm. I uploaded this deck about a month ago, 4 weeks actually, so yeah, a month. And I played Ragavan in that list. It's the first Gruul Storm video that I uploaded where people didn't watch it. People just hate Ragavan, and I completely get it. But there's some pretty good ideas in the comments, and that is Wild Cantor, a card that people discussed instead of Ragavan for budget considerations. Initially, I dismissed Wild Cantor because I'm like, I'm not interested in playing budget lists. I just want to play the best deck list possible. But then at the end of that video, I talked about adding in 3 copies of Underworld Breach over Abundant Harvest, so that way we can abuse Birgi a little bit better. And Abundant Harvest was always just sort of lackluster, where Underworld Breach is just a haymaker that wins the game. When paired with Birgi, you can cast a Wish for Burning Inquiry. And when you do that, or fun fact, you can start off on Wish, get the sideboard copy of Underworld Breach with Birgi, and then use that same Wish to go get Burning Inquiry. This allows you to essentially dredge your entire library until you can win the game. It's pretty sweet. It does give you that, I win the game factor. We don't play a main deck Grapeshot, so you will have to cast Wish again into Grapeshot, just to keep that in mind. But yeah, you have a 3-card combo that just sort of wins the game. But Wild Cantor is nice because you can play it on turn 1, and then it accelerates you into the Bergmaster on the second turn, which is what we were looking for Ragavan to do. In that previous video, Ragavan was stonewalled by a Boreal Grazer more times than I would like to admit, plus other blockers, and people were just really upset that I was playing Ragavan. They're like, if this was Wild Cantor, this wouldn't happen. I get it. I hear you. I'm playing Wild Cantor today. So one of the nice things about Wild Cantor, in my opinion, is I'm not sure if it's actually better than Ragavan. We're going to figure that out today. But yeah, you can play it on turn 1. You're guaranteed Birgi on turn 2. I like that. Does that make it better than Ragavan? Probably not. But where I think it actually has some value is that we became an Underworld Breach deck, which means that this is fuel for the Breach, which is pretty good. So we have this Lotus Petal that lives on the battlefield. And I say Lotus Petal because that's what it is with Birgi. So you can play it mid-combo and sacrifice it for plus mana, like you would a Striker Rich. So we're essentially playing 8 Striker Riches in the deck now, which is pretty sweet. Obviously, Wild Cantor doesn't have Flashback, but I still think it's worthwhile. And when we're not playing Ragavan, we can go back to playing 2 copies of Stomping Ground because we had to up it to 3 in the previous video to support the Ragavan. And with that, we get our Boseiju who endures back because we're not forced to play additional red sources. We can play these Boseijus and then cast our Wild Cantors off those. We did lose a fetch land in our Underworld Breach deck. I completely get it. And speaking of fetch lands, so this deck list, as I present to you, is 150 tickets. That's about $135 if you were to spend real world money on this deck. Granted, this is Magic Online price, not paper price, but 150 tickets for a competitive Modern deck is really good. The previous 2 times that I've recorded this deck, I've gone 4-1 both times. This deck is competitive. I promise you, it is competitive. So a competitive Modern deck for 150 tickets is pretty darn good. In paper, it's about 500. I just checked before I uploaded this. If it changed since then, I'm sorry. Some of you get really upset when you watch videos months later and prices are different. As of right now, the day that I record this, $500. Most of that money is fetch lands and Boseiju. If you cut those from the deck, the price dramatically drops. So if you want to play this deck at a budget, you can certainly do that. You could cut the fetch lands, play additional copies of Stomping Ground, or more red-green dual lands. And then, there's your budget deck. That would probably get it down to like 60 tickets online and then like $200 in paper. But we're not playing a budget list today. We're playing a normal list. I'm just giving you a heads up for things that you could do. But the reason that you really want to play fetch lands is for Underworld Breach. So we did lose a fetch land for the Breach, but Boseiju puts itself to the graveyard sometime anyway. Plus it gives you a backdoor to, things your opponent might do to harm you. I think it's fine. But yeah, those are the changes to the main deck. Today, I'm going for a new goal. I am not going to mess up March of the Reckless Joy, or March of Reckless Joy. I guess I can mess up saying it right. But I'm going to try to not mess this up. In the previous 2 videos, I've punted on March twice. I'm not going to do it today. It's not going to happen. If it happens, I'm just going to cry myself to sleep. Don't worry about it. But that's what I've got. In the sideboard, still 4 copies of Veil, cards busted. We're playing Gruul Storm. You might as well be playing it. A lot of people are curious on the last video, why no Weather the Storm? Why aren't you playing that for burn? I just don't think that's what the matchup is about. Instead, you want Lightning Bolt to remove Eidolon. You don't want to have to deal with trying to gain life to buy time. I don't think that's a winning strategy. Yes, we're a Gruul Storm deck. I don't think that you want Weather. Plus, like, where are the slots coming from? Our sideboard is so compact already. I guess you could cut the Blood Moon, but I don't even love that. That's what I've got for you today. Like I mentioned, Burning Inquiry, super combo with Underworld Breach. Lightning Bolt is for hammer time and burn and decks like that. Grapeshot is our win condition. We're not playing a main deck Grapeshot, so we really need this. Underworld Breach is fantastic. Blood Moon for those amulet decks, stuff like that. Relay is a nice storm engine for when you can't win. Past in Flames wins the game on its own a whole lot of the time. Our sideboard Reforge, you'll see 3 in the main deck. This is our key engine that allows us to beat Graveyard Hate. Nature's Claim for when you need to blow up a Leyline of Sanctity, but you can't use Boseiju from Exile. Fun fact, Boseiju does not work off of March of Reckless Joy or the Horn side of the Berg. You have to be able to channel to discard from hand. You cannot discard it from exile. That doesn't make any sense if you've played Magic the Gathering before. So Nature's Claim does provide some utility, and then Veil of Summer for those black and control matchups. That's my super long-winded deck tech. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, suggestions, whatever, put those down below. I do my best to answer all of those. But for now, we're going to hop on into the first match. I hope you enjoyed this Gruul Storm video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. That said, there's no better way of showing your support than becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks, and we get to keep making combo content. The perks get better and better each level you go up. They also stack. To start off, with our Storm fan tier, you unlock our private members section of our Discord, which comes with a highlighted user profile and then some awesome badges and emotes for YouTube. Looking for sideboard help? Become a Stormtrooper, our middle tier, for 2 sideboard guides of your deck choice every single month, on top of 50% off donation decks. Did we mention you also get 10% off merchandise from our shop? With our top tier, the Combo Cabal, you get a free donation deck every single month, 15% off merchandise from our shop, early access to private deck lists, and the most valuable perk in my opinion, videos early. That's right, you heard it, early access to all videos. But maybe sweet perk, secret deck list, early access to videos isn't for you, but you'd still like to show your appreciation. Make sure to check out theepicstorm.com/shop for card singles and Storm swag. Please don't forget to use your membership discounts. Finally, if you want to see your combo deck here on this very YouTube channel, make sure to visit theepicstorm.com/donation decks, where all you have to do is attach your TXT file and pick a donation tier. With our Epic tier, you can even join me in a video to showcase your bold brew in person and explain the ins and outs of your strategy. Card availability won't be an issue due to our new sponsor, Card Hoarder. With Card Hoarder, renting is super easy. If you're looking to get into Magic Online, there isn't a better, more affordable solution than Card Hoarder. Fun fact, you can rent the Epic Storm for 7 tickets a week, which is just a great deal. There are many ways you can support us. Just pick whatever is best for you. In the meantime, let's play some Magic. Welcome to the first match with Gruul Storm. We're on the draw. I have no idea what our opponent's playing. We've opened up sort of a slow hand here. I don't think you're actually allowed to keep this, so I'm going to mulligan. Here we have a bunch of Cantors in the Bergmaster. Do we keep this? I think the answer is yes. So I'm going to bottom a Birgi. Or it would be better to bottom the Breach. I think you... So the problem is that even if I get to Birgi, I don't have enough mana to then accelerate into the back half of Horn. So I think I'm just going to keep the Breach and hope that things go well and we can eventually get a Wish, so that way we can just set up the Burning Inquiry. And this is humans. Interesting. Okay, the ritual was good. So we're gonna just play a wild Cantor here and pass the turn. Ideally we would draw a land on the second turn, Because if we draw land, we can go Ritual Birgi, Cantor plus mana, Morphos plus mana, play Breach, and then maybe do some stuff. But we need to draw an untapped land. God, I love this deck. This deck's so sweet. And this is definitely a spot where Wild Cantor looks better than Ragavan, that's for sure. Our opponent's taken a few minutes at this point, just sitting on their turn 2. I have to imagine that they have a Meddling Mage in hand. And they're just sitting there going like, what do I name when my opponent plays turn 1 Wild Cantor? I guess you just let your clock run down 10 minutes and concede the match. It's the only right thing to do here. Or you could just make a play. Come on, opponent, let's go. And they've played another unclaimed territory. Also naming human. Blue-white. There's Meddling Mage. I am so smart and thin. That's not true. But, come on. It didn't need to take that long. What will you name? And they named Wild Cantor. So I can't play the other Wild Cantor in my hand, which is actually kind of a problem. Okay, so I'm going to play the Birgi here, but then we have to pass the turn. I'd actually like to be able to play the other Wild Cantor, I'm just not allowed to. And we didn't rip the land. If they have a removal spell here, we're just lights out dead. Oh, here's Reflector Mage. Yep, I'm dead. Okay, we're not winning this one. I knew that was a possibility. I needed it to not happen. We'll strike it rich. Pass the turn. Land number 4 from our opponent. Triple black. Torok, are you kidding? I wasn't expecting that. They hit the Wild Cantor, so that was actually good for us, but I don't think we can. Maybe land. Okay, so if the Birgi sticks this time, there's a chance we win. So we're gonna play the Berg. Pass the turn. Okay, no removal spell is what we need here. Opponent has 3 cards in hand, 5 lands. Does a Thalia's Lieutenant hurt me here? Unsettled Mariner. I can beat that. And there's the Lieutenant. Does that beat me? 5, 11. I have to block. That wins. That wins. Ah, that's unfortunate. This Wooded Foothills being the lane got me. Otherwise, I could have gone to 1 and tried to win. Alright, I'm just not going to block. I'm dead no matter what. We don't have a draw that wins. You could Miracle Reforge the Soul, but it's literally impossible to win off of 1 land. So let's see what our draw step would have been. This would have been the Mana Morphos draw. We could have then played Morphos into Breach. We would have had to cast Morphos again. Alright, we weren't winning that, even if I got to untap. Alright, that was a little bit rough. Let's bring in Lightning Bolt here. And I think that's all we want. So the question is, what do you board out? We previously had a bunch of Abundant Harvests that were not very good. So that's no longer the case. I think March becomes like sort of a flex spot. And then we have 1 card to take out. Alright, I think it's just going to be 3 March. Do I want to board in the Grapeshot over the last March? It's possible. No, I think I'd rather keep the March, I think. Let's submit. You could also like maybe board out the Beseiju and go down to 17 lands and keep 2 March. But I don't think I'm in love with that plan. And also, I hate the new Moto UI of always making my sideboard super small whenever I do anything. Not a big fan. Alright, we're on the play for game 2. Alright, we have turn 2 Berg, keep. That's all I've ever wanted in life, is turn 2 a god of storytelling. So we're going to lead off on turn 1 Foothills, strike it rich, turn 2 Copperline, Birgi. And we're leading off on the Foothills because I want to thin my library of a land. Okay, Wooded Foothills. Let's go grab that mountain. Let's get rich. Pass the turn. Silent clearing. So they're just straight black-white, I think. That would make the Torok make more sense. Another Underworld Breach. Not really what we needed here. Play the Birgi. And pass. Ooh, Sanctifier. So that's going to make the Underworld Breaches in my hand a lot worse. Alright, draw. Maybe if that's the case, you want to consider boarding them out for the next game. I don't know. Let's see if we can draw anything good here. And then maybe keep in the marches instead. Do red green. Alright. I have to pass the turn. Yeah, I just have to pass here. I could have potentially have played the Morphos before I played my land, so that way this could come into play on tap next turn. But I don't know. We have to take it. Ideally, we would draw a Reforge. Alright, so I'm actually short next turn of playing Horn too. I don't know if I'm going to get this one. Because best case scenario is I draw an untapped land, and that allows me to play the back half of Horn, but then I need another turn to be able to untap and discard. I'm going to take 6 here. That brings me down to 8. Draw. Okay, hit the land. I'd have to get really lucky in order to win this. Play Hornfell. Pass the turn. Land 3. No one drop. No one drop. Alright. They didn't hit a one drop. If they had a one drop, I was dead to the champion. Alright, so we get a shot at winning here. Draw. Start off on discarding the land. That's good. Okay. Discard Breach. And discard Breach. We hit Reforge. That's decent. So we can play the Anarchomancer here, which will make a red mana off of the Birgi. Okay. I can play a land and cast Reforge, which might be the best thing to do here. Wish still costs 3. The Anarchomancer cancels out the Thalia, so Wish costs 3. But I can't kill the Sanctifier to open up Underworld Breach, so that's sort of a moot point. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I almost played Beseiju there. That was bad. Do I want to fetch to thin? Is there anything stopping me from going to 1? I don't think so. Let's go get the last mountain out of the deck. So... oh no. Oh no. Hold up. Undo. So Reforge still costs 5, but it makes 1. The only way I win this is if I hit Wild Cantor off the wheel. Actually, I have Hornfell. So my ads are actually pretty good. Sorry, I just needed to think through that a little bit. So we're going to cast Reforge. And it will make a red mana. I have to hit Wild Cantor, though. Okay, I can't actually cast... oh, no, I can cast Strike It Rich. I forgot that these canceled out. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Please ignore me. Alright, so that was good. Now I think I want to play the Anarchomancer, which makes a red, and now our spells cost 1 less, which means that this Desperate Ritual is really good. We can discard the Birgi. Ohio. That was good. Nice Thalia. No one has ever liked her anyway. Okay. Let's cast this ritual. Metamorphose from 7. Make a few green here, why not? Discard the copper line. We can cast Wish. You don't need to select with Wish, it's just you can cast 2 cards out of your sideboard until end of turn. Lightning Bolt you. Now they're at 10, and Grapeshot will get the job done. Alright, so we got super lucky in one game number 2. And after seeing the Sanctifier, I think I'm going to change my boarding. I'm not going to keep in Underworld Breach. Take that, humans. Alright, so let's bring the marches back in. Get rid of these breaches. Whoops. Alright, so that's how I'm going to recommend boarding for the 3rd game against black. I guess we saw blue. So they're Esper humans? I don't know. But we're submitting our deck. It's time for game 3. We don't have turn 2 Birgi this time, the god of storytelling, but we do have a Goblin Anarchomancer and plus some other sweet stuff. I think this is a pretty easy keep. And then we just look to draw into a payoff spell. We have a bunch of them in our deck. Gotta have a little bit of faith, you know. Bad George Michael reference or something, but we'll be fine. Cavern of Souls into Esper Sentinel. There's our payoff spell. So I think I'm just going to play the Wild Cantor here and don't let them draw a card. Pass the turn. Black land. Thalia. We have the Anarchomancer to combat that. Okay. Pass the turn. The problem with the Thalia being on the board is that we really need the Anarchomancer to reduce costs, and that's not doing it right now. Reflector Mage, they're going to bounce our Anarchomancer, which is not great, but it's okay. We'll take it. Draw. March. Okay, I think we're just going to play a Striker Rich here and pay the tax on the Sentinel and not let them draw. Strike it rich. And then yes, we'll pay. Pass the turn. Okay. Opponent with 3 cards. They do have enough mana here for Kicked Torok. Ooh, so that shuts off March. And Sanctifier. Okay. Ooh, it shuts off Wish too. Wow. Dranith Magistrate. So good against this deck. I've never even considered that. Okay, so we'll play our Goblin here. The question is, do I want to sacrifice the treasure to get the other Goblin out? I need to draw a Lightning Bolt very badly. And I do think I just want the other Goblin on the table. Pass the turn. Please sacrifice Silent Clearing. I need to draw Lightning Bolt. So they're attacking for 6. I can double block the Thalia here. And that's essentially the same as having both of these. Their last card, though, I guess even if it is the Thalia, they can't cast it. Does it make a difference? Like, does it buy me more time to block now if they have a second Thalia later? I'm just gonna double block, I think. I think it will buy me a little bit of time. We'll go to 8 here. Draw. Not a Lightning Bolt. Yeah, this card is just so good against me. Alright, pass the turn. It's worth noting that the Scalding Tarn has to get a Wooded Foothills. Or, I'm sorry, a Stomping Ground. I don't have another basic to get. We'll take 4. Okay. And there's the additional Thalia. I thought that was their last card in hand, which is why they were willing to sacrifice her last turn. Okay, I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna cast the March. It doesn't really matter all that much. Let's exile the Wish. Because I can't cast the cards, but if I happen to draw in a Lightning Bolt, it'll be worthwhile. Cancel. Actually, if I draw in a Lightning Bolt, I want the Wish. Alright. So this is for 3. Our opponent will get to draw a card off Esper Sentinel, because I'm not going to... Or should I sacrifice my Cantor? Yeah, I guess the mana doesn't matter. Okay. March for 3. If we hit Lightning Bolt, it's bad because I need to draw Lightning Bolt to kill the Dranith Magistrate. Alright, March. We did not hit Lightning Bolt. But if I draw Bolt for turn, I think we've actually got this. Draw. So you're saying there's a chance. Let's go for it, I guess. Draw. Red green. The Seiju will not do here. I think we're just dead because I can't cast cards from my sideboard with the Wish. Wish does not put a card to your hand. You can cast it from outside the game, which is not the same thing. And I can't cast any of these. So, yeah, they got me. Okay, so we're starting this league off 0-1.
If you haven't joined them already, I would recommend opening up our description down below and joining our 7 social media networks. They're each great in their own way, but I would strongly suggest joining our Discord server. In there, you will find others just like you looking to improve their Storm game and grow as a combo community. If you're a member of our YouTube channel, you should sync your account to Discord to unlock our private member section that has the latest and greatest deck lists, concepts, and much, much more. Let's get back to comboing out.
Time to bounce back. Match number 2, we're on the play. No cost reducer. Double Wish is not that good. I think I'm going to take a mulligan. And I think that we're sort of priced into keeping this. Just bottom the breach. Alright. Opponent is also taking a mulligan. Just play a Stomping Ground and pass the turn. Oh no. I never beat Living End. Ever. It's the worst. Like, Living End is my least favorite thing about Modern. And it's not even close. Like, I hate this deck so much. Like, it's a deck that I should love because I love cycling. And the few times that I've played it, it's been fine. The videos, nobody watches the videos. Like, people just don't like Living End. But I hate facing it. It's just, it's too good. Alright, let's grab another Stomping Ground. Draw. Another land. Beautiful. Let's pass. Okay, why is there a Watery Grave in your deck? Are they just Shadow? Okay. Shadow we can deal with. As long as it's not Living End. Now they're at 10. Now they're at 8. And there's a Shadow. They do have Drawn in the Lock mana open. I think we'll get a red source here. The question is, do I march here or do I wait? I think I'm going to wait. Draw. Okay. That's actually not bad. Because if our opponent goes much lower, Wish and a Grapeshot just wins the game. Alright, so now they have a Flooded Strand. Will you get a basic or are you shocking again? They get a basic. They're at 7. We're taking 6. And they're just holding open all the counter spells. So if they have a Dress Down, we're dead next turn. I guess I have the Seiju to stop that, actually. I think I'm just gonna take a draw. Draw. And another Beseiju. Okay, we'll play that land out. Give them a false sense of security with the dress down. If I get double dress down though, oh, it's gonna feel so bad. All right, so do you have double dress down? No blocks. All right, I'm at 6. And they cast another Death Shadow. Okay, time to cast this March. Okay. Cast. Assuming that this resolves, remember, we only get 2 cards off it. Spell Pierce. Not a card I was expecting. Okay. Untap, draw. Birgi! Alright, I'm gonna play this Beseju. I mean, I think we're just dead if our opponent has anything, but I don't think I can afford to play around, so we're just gonna cast spells. And there's the Drown in the Lock. So if I Manamorphose into an Archomancer, so that would be spell 3, and Archomancer would be 4. Ritual would be 5, Wish would be 6, Grapeshot would be 7. So we have 4 cards that win the game here. Cast this Manamorphose and pray that we draw Goblin Anarchomancer. Red green. Let's see it. That does not do. I cannot cast. Actually, I think a Ritual would have worked there too. Yeah, Ritual would have won the game too. Striker Rich does not. No point in showing them Wish, so I'm going to concede. Okay. So that hurt. Not the end of the world though. We're definitely boarding in the Veil of Summers though. Give me my Veil. And why are you... Maybe it was like this in the first match and I didn't notice, but I prefer card view over pile. Veil of Summer. So now we have to find 4 cards to take out. I do think that this is not necessarily a matchup that's about speed, so I'm fine boarding out Wild Cantor and keeping more action. And let's submit this. Game 2 on the play versus Shadow. Unfortunately not. Am I supposed to keep this? I don't like it. Foils to the bottom. Let's go. Misty, and they're just passing. Okay. Draw. I mean, that's a decent one. It would need to not die, but I'll take it. No Fatal Push or Lightning Bolt. We didn't actually see red in game number 1 for what it's worth. We only saw blue and black. Watery Grave. Consider. And they milled another Consider. Okay. And another Consider. Are we going to get to untap with our Goblin friend? And they kept the card on top. Okay, draw. That was a good one. So what we're looking to beat here is Spell Pierce. That's the card that we saw in game 1 that was a problem. Alright, let's start on Pyretic Ritual. Manamorphose. Red, red. Land. That was bad. Let's cast Wish. No empty. If I had an empty, I would definitely cast it here. We do have the relays back up. I could Reforge, but we get wrecked by that Spell Pierce we saw. So I think I'm actually going to relay here. Let's march. It's going to be march for 2. Okay, that's interesting. I would need the Pyretic Ritual to not be Spell Pierced. Alright, here goes nothing. Ritual. Alright, we got through. Now we can play another Goblin. And now this is going to be a Galvanic Relay. Ooh, I could actually play Underworld Breach. But if I play Breach, we actually don't have a whole lot. I think I'm just going to Relay. Could also cast Past in Flames, but no mana floating. I think it's just Relay. Draw 7. Okay. Manamorphose. They'll pop out after. I'm afraid of popping out that window because it's going to reset my sideboard. I hate this. I hate it so much. It's going to pop up on our turn, but look then. All right, opponent fetches, and they shock down to 12. No fatal push. I guess if they had a fatal push, they would have done it earlier, so I'm not really worried about that. A dress down here would actually be sort of bad on our upcoming turn because it would shut off our goblins. Opponent fetching. All right, they just might be pure blue-black with no splash color. And there's a Death Shadow. Okay, draw. And here's what we can do. Veil of Summer was an incredible draw. Okay, let's Ritual. Manamorphose. Green, why not? Another Ritual, let's cast it. Manamorphose. We'll do red on this one. Attempt to cast Veil of Summer. I just want to peer deep into your soul. Come on. Let's reforge it a little bit. Counter target spell. We will Veil of Summer again and draw 2. Wish was a good one. Wish actually just wins the game here. I'm not going to show them Underworld Breach. And Grapeshot for 9. No Reforge necessary. Get out of here. And they didn't see our Underworld Breach. So as far as they know, we're not actually a graveyard deck. They think that we probably have a Past in Flames, which is true, in our sideboard, but they don't know about the dedicated Breach plan. I'm just going to resubmit here. I should buy the missing pieces that I'm missing from this deck and paper. It's not actually a whole lot. I don't own Japanese foil Stomping Grounds. I only own 1 Reforge. And I'm not sure what else I'm missing. I don't own Wild Cantors. I think that might be it. Decent hand. We'll try it. Okay, turn 1 polluted Delta. Ouch. Thoughtseize. There you go. So we have the Veil of Summer that they might take. They also might just take the Birgi. Veil down. Draw. Another Veil? Aw, alright. The Seiju 2 is a little bit awkward. Just because we can't have both of them living on the battlefield at the same time. And another Thoughtseize. Okay, so that makes sense why they took the Veil of Summer. Opponent, though, opening up a very aggressive hand if they have Black Source Death Shadow. Birgi down. Blue Source. No Shadow this turn. Draw. Just play the Wooded Foothills and pass. No need to play the Stomping Ground. We don't want to tell our opponent that we drew a land. Consider. And the milled the Flooded Strand. Okay. Watery Grave, they're now at 11. Is it Murktide? It is. Okay. It is a big dragon. Get that Stomping Ground. So we are now under a clock. Draw. I still don't think I want to show them the Stomping Ground yet. And you could play it with the Striker Rich, but we saw Spell Pierce, and I just think we want all the mana we can possibly get. So I'm just going to pass here. Realistically, I'm not sure what a winning game looks like at this point. Draw. All right, let's flashback the Strike It Rich. See if it resolves, and it does. Play Stomping Ground and pass the turn. Archmage Charm to draw. Okay, so their hand must be pretty good. So we know that they have Drawn in the Lock, Spell Pierce, and Counterspell in their deck on top of Archmage's Charm. I think I need to draw a Veil of Summer if I even want a chance at winning this game. They mill an island, and they're getting in for 6, so we'll go to 7 here. We're not dead, at least right now. We're not dead. Well, Scalding Card would murder me, but we do have one more turn coming up. The problem is if we untap, they'll have an additional counterspell, but I can't beat a counterspell right now anyway, so I don't know if it's actually worth passing. We are dead to a second Murktide Regent. I think I'm supposed to just pass the turn here. Like, what am I supposed to do? Just, like, play into their counterspell and lose? Consider. So this means if they have another Murktide, I'm dead. And they got rid of a Gurmag Angler, which would have killed me. That's weird that they ditched it. With the Regent, that would have been lethal. So I will go to 1. Alright. Draw. Another Wish. So it's technically an out if they decide to counterspell Wish and then don't have another counter. I mean, pretty unlikely, but it's theoretical. Alright, let's try to start on Wish instead of the Ritual. Stubborn Denial. So that means that they still have another counterspell up. I'm dead. I'm not going to be able to beat this. Wish. And they got me. Alright, so unfortunately we're starting this league off 0-2. This deck is not bad, I promise you that. I truly believe in Gruul Storm, I really do. Just a few rough matchups to start. Let's see if we can finish strong.
Playing your favorite combo deck in Paper just got so much easier with the Epic Storm mini token pack. You can pick one up at theepicstorm.com/shop for $13. It includes 64 double-sided mini tokens. That's 128 tokens total. And they include 10 black, 10 blue, 10 red, 5 green, 5 white, 3 colorless, 20 storm counters. That means that you can count your way all the way up to 20 for Grapeshot, everyone's favorite Stormwind condition, a Galvanic Relay Exile Indicator, 4 treasure tokens for Strike It Rich, and then 10 monk tokens for our vintage friends. It also has Slime Time Live, Aeve Progenitor Ooze tokens with the power and toughness already built in to make playing in Paper so much easier. No fumbling around with dice. We've got you covered. Make sure to go grab those if you're playing Modern. And then Squirrels versus Goblins, Chatterstorm versus Empty the Warrens, the Battle of the Ages. You definitely need 20 Squirrel tokens and 20 Goblin tokens. You're going to love this mini token pack, I promise. And once again, you can grab that at theepicstorm.com/shop.
Match number 2. We're on the draw. We've opened up a risky one-lander. If this forest was a mountain, I would snap keep it due to the March of Reckless Joy. As of right now, I'm sitting here wondering, like, is this worth keeping for the risk? Because you do it, like, even if you drop a Seiju, you can Manamorphose into the Goblin. The problem here is that your payoffs are March and Breach. I think you're supposed to just take a mulligan and be more disciplined. Very similar hand. We'll keep this due to the March and his bottom a Wish. Okay. What are you playing, opponent? Island. This looks like a forest. I don't like those lands. Like, even the swamp looks off to me. I'm not a big fan. Like, basics shouldn't look like other land types. It's just misleading. They cast Opt. Okay. Included Delta. Draw. Another Goblin. That's pretty good. Cast it. Likely going to eat a counter spell here. Nope. Okay. So the Goblin Anarchomancer has hit the battlefield. Let's see if it stays there. Alright, Hallowed Fountain. At least here for the time being. Lanes. This is a Teferi? It is a Teferi. Okay. The Goblin has been bounced. Draw. Whoops, can't cast Goblin that way. Undo. Should I play March here? It's really good if I hit a land, but if I don't, it's pretty embarrassing. I think I'm just gonna play the Goblin. Okay, it's back. Teferi with a plus. Land 4. What will you do, opponent? Let's go. They're paying cost, so this is probably a prismatic ending. Nope. Okay. I feel like they want me to attack into a Shark Typhoon. I'm gonna cast March, pitch Breach, and just the Breach. So this will be X equals 3 due to the Goblin Anarchomancer. Okay. 2 lands and a Manamorphose. Play the Mesa. Fetch. Ouch. And let's play the Manamorphose. I can't mess up this time. It's not going to let me. Red green. Okay. What to do? How about a ritual? Am I allowed to do that? That happened, okay. What about another goblin? Wish for 1 mana? That resolves, okay. Cast Strike it Rich. Let's March for 2. And I still have the Galvanic Relay I can cast. I don't know if I'm actually going to cast anything off this because a counterspell would wreck me. Yeah, I'm just going to let these stay exiled. But we're going to take the Relay for 8. Alright, let's Galvanic Relay. Opponent would need a main deck Flusterstorm to stop this. Okay, and like I mentioned, I'm not going to attack due to I don't want to lose my Goblin to Shark Typhoon. Just pass the turn. No need to attack. Memory Deluge. Okay. Our 2 rituals will be exiled. I don't think it's until next turn. Until the end of your next turn. So I believe that these are just permanently exiled. I don't know why they're still here. They should be gone. They have plus Teferi. Land number 5. Opponent with 7 cards. I am admittedly a little bit worried about Supreme Verdict, which is a reason that I didn't try to cast the Birgi on our combo turn last turn. Because I thought that with maybe them plussing Teferi, they were trying to get me with the Supreme Verdict on a bunch of creatures. And it doesn't have to be Supreme Verdict. It could be another sweeper. Just some generic destroy a bunch of creatures effect. Solitude. Okay. We will lose a goblin. They're fetching. Swamp. This is actually the other basic I was referring to that looks like a mountain. Like, these 2 lands are bullshit. Draw. And another Berg. Alright. So, unlike March, I can cast everything off this. Yes. Let's start on a Birgi. Because then our rituals make more mana. Looks like they're going to Counterspeller. Each opponent sacrifices a creature, exile graveyards. I can't respond to that because of the Teferi. So that was actually a good move, because now if they counterspell the Pyretic, I lose everything. That was a really good play. Yikes. Ritual. Ooh, it resolved. Wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. It's Metamorphose. Blood, red, red. Ritual. Okay, tons of mana. Let's cast this March. Pitch the Birgi. I have to pay red here. So this March is free because of the Birgi. I just had to exile a card from hand. We hit Reforge in another land. I think I play Breach here. Okay. Let's cast another Ritual. So this brings us up to 10 mana. I'm going to attempt to Reforge. Even if it's countered, I can cast another Reforge. Okay. Esper Charm, Teferi, bunch of wild stuff in there. Alright, let's play a wild Cantor here. Because now we can filter this Cantor into green. Play the Goblin. Wild Cantor, once again, is completely free due to the Birgi. Let's cast this Wish. Spell number 14. Wish. Okay, spell 15. Wish. Spell 16. I'm gonna Manamorphose so I can make some green mana. Alright, that's spell number 17. Attempt to cast the lethal Grapeshot. Birgi triggers. All you. We do have double Veil or double Lightning Bolt backup as well. I don't think I need the Lightning Bolt because I could just escape Grapeshot, but we do have double Veil backup here. Okay, looking good. And the last one? Okay, on to game number 2. So once again, I think we want these Veil of Summers. I don't think we're looking to go fast, so I think we take out the Wild Cantors, unfortunately, and call it a day. Alright, game 2, we're on the draw. We've opened up Veil of Summer, keep. Veil of Summer lands, like, it's exactly what we want in this matchup. Polluted Delta, pass the turn, draw. Copperline Gorge is a good one, pass the turn again. Alright. Hallowed Fountain. Opponent plays a Flooded Strand, and it looks like they're just passing the turn. Draw. Another land. We're just stuck in this pattern right now. We're just going to keep passing. Unfortunately, Teferi makes the Veil of Summer a little bit awkward if they cast it on 3, but not the end of the world. Picking up a Watery Grave. The one nice thing about making the land drops here is that we won't be forced to play into their open mana. We can just sort of just sit here and look to capitalize on an opening. Not that we can do much capitalizing with our current hand, but maybe eventually. Mystic Gate. Okay. Let's go search up a Wooded Foothills. Or I'm sorry, a Stomping Ground. I keep on doing that. My apologies. Draw. Another Ritual. Just pass the turn here. We need to start considering some Underworld Breach fodder. 3 mana. Target player draws 2. You got it. Divination has never looked so good. I have a set of foil divinations from when I played the Supreme Verdict Sphinx's Revelation Control deck in Standard. That deck was so good. I loved it. I had a weekend where I drove to New Jersey to play in back-to-back PTQs in the same weekend and came in 3rd and 8th in the 2. Unfortunately, I didn't win either, but it was really powerful. Chalice on 2. Well, we have the Seiju. Not actually worried about this. Also, Veil of Summer would beat it, but I don't think we're ready to move yet. Let's pick up another Stomping Ground. I'm just going to take a draw. No, I don't want to Miracle that. Okay, pass the turn. I want them to feel comfortable with the Chalice, only to get wrecked. They did not tap. I was really hoping they would slam the 5 mana to Fairy there. Let's attempt a March for 3. Cast. March for 3. I don't need this March anymore due to drawing the Reforge, so it's all just gravy. 2 lands and another March. Okay. Draw. Play a land. Let's March for 2. With a converted mana cost of 3. Let's get rich. Okay. Unfortunately, Manamorphose will go to exile, but not the end of the world. This Arid Mesa doesn't actually have a target. We've hit the point in the game where the only fetchable I have left is Basic Forest. Exile my graveyard to make a 1/1. You got it. I wonder if it would actually be better if I kept the Chalice. Oh, you'll love to see it. Can I get a screenshot? There we go. Ah, beautiful. That's going into my hard drive. Ah, yes. The Chalice for 1 and your own Chalice on 2. Boom. Oh, geez. Okay. One has 4 cards. I think I'm gonna besiege you here. Get rid of the Chalice. Now they can go get a basic. They have 5 available mana. The Manamorphose I cannot cast. What? I can cast this? That can't be right. Is this bugged? Or do I not know what March does? Alright, I'm going to ruin my sideboard. I'm going to look at my exile pile. You may play up to 2 of those cards until the end of your next turn. I already had the end of my next turn. I feel like this is bugged. Maybe I'm wrong. Alright, let's start off on a Goblin. Okay, the Goblin has hit the battlefield. Let's cast this Ritual. I'm not going to Splice because I want to keep Veil of Summer open. Opponent is fetching. Ritual. They're resolved. Okay, let's get desperate again. Manamorphose. Green, green. Manamorphose. Red, red. Neither of these get the forest in the deck, so they would only exist as breach fodder. Opponent thinking here. That's actually kind of backbreaking. It doesn't target, so I mean, I could Veil in response, but what's the point? Okay. Let's Veil of Summer. And then I can cast a Reforge with 2 available mana. It's pretty unlikely that I win at this point. I would need an insane draw 7. Another Breach. Reforge. And I hit the forest. Okay. So I can cast Ritual. Manamorphose. Green. Alright, we didn't draw into another goblin. That's what I was hoping for there. But I can escape Ritual. Let's use the green. Remove these. That's from 12. I can escape Ritual one more time would be 13. Alright, I should count before I continue. So it's from 13 to bring me up to 5. Wish and a Grapeshot Veil. I think I have it. Let's exile these. Alright, so now I can play Wish. From 14, it's from 15 Veil of Summer. It's from 16 Grapeshot. Wow! I was not expecting to win this turn. That was a good draw 7. We did it. We got our first match win. We are now 1-2. Let's see if we can get the next few.
Hey, you're still watching. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. If you're looking to make a purchase from Card Hoarder, TCG Player, or Amazon and are looking to support us, you can open up our description down below, and in there you will find our affiliate links. Those same links are found on the homepage of the Epic Storm. But that's not all. We've included a Card Hoarder button on our website that will load the Epic Storm in your Card Hoarder cart to make life simple for you.
Match 4, we're on the play. Keep. Hand's good. Okay. Copperline Gorge into Strike It Rich. Pass the turn. Opponent probably reading Strike It Rich right now. It's fine. No big deal. Okay, so we're on our opponent's turn now. Scalding Tarn. Island. Visions, okay. They put 2 on top. Draw. Breach. Okay, so I'm going to play the Anarchomancer here, but we might be in a spot where we have the 3-card combo, assuming that nothing bad happens to me. Let's play the Goblin, pass the turn. So we would need our opponent to like not kill my Goblin and tap out here. But assuming that happened, next turn we could play Birgi off our 2 lands, play Stomping Ground, cast a Wish, which would make a red mana, play Underworld Breach, which would make another red mana, and then we would cast Burning Inquiry. We could start, you know, drudging our deck. Okay, so they have a red source. And they're just passing. Okay. I'm going to try to resolve Birgi here. We might actually be able to beat a counterspell if this resolves. Remand. So they're on Gift Storm. Okay. Ritual. Play Birgi. Breach is free. Okay. And now we can cast Wish. Alright, so now we have the win, I believe. Okay, so I just need to think through this. I can Ritual, exiling the Wish. Yeah, alright. Okay, so we have a ton of mana now. I could also just Reforge. But Reforge could brick. Let's just Burning Inquiry. Alright. So we do this until we get another Wish, and then we should be able to win. From 9, Burning Inquiry. Burning Inquiry again. From 10. Burning Inquiry. And this is just us, air quotes, dredging our library. Okay. Take that Gift Storm. Who's faster now, Mom? Alright, Burning Inquiry. And again. From 13. Burning Inquiry. And there's a Wish. So if I cast Wish, it's not lethal yet. Alright, they've seen enough. But what we could do is exile the Pyretic Ritual, so we always have the Wish available. Alright, so we got game number 1. Do we want any... I think we probably want to bring in Veil. So it stops not only Remand, but also Gifts and Given. And I think we could probably just board out the March. I think we want to keep the Cantor and the Striker Rich. This is a speed-based matchup. Game 2, we've opened up a hand without a cost reducer, but I think this hand is fine. I'm going to keep it. Steam Vents. Okay, draw. Let's just play a Strike It Rich. Pass the turn. Shivan Reef. I guess I could have boarded in my Lightning Bolts. I didn't think of that until now. That was a mistake. Yeah, that's definitely an oversight. Play Cantor. Pass the turn. Okay. Manamorphose. 3 mana. Gifts and Given. I'm going to try to spike a Veil of Summer here. I'm going to grab a Mountain and then cast the Manamorphose. Actually, I think it's better to sacrifice the Cantor. Cantor can die to a Grapeshot or a Lightning Bolt, and the treasure token can't. Red-green. Okay. So, Gifts resolves. Think if we give them Ritual... So I choose the 2 that go to the graveyard, correct? So now they have Ritual Past in Flames, but they would need another +1 in order to do anything here. And that was the case. Okay, so I would need a really good draw to go here. That's not it. So I can Wish Lightning Bolt. That is something I'm allowed to do here. I would need them to not remand me. Ooh, cancel. Let's kill that Brawl. Pass. So we know that they have Ritual Past in Flames in hand. 2 mana, another Brawl. Okay. So Ritual Past in Flames puts them in the same spot as last turn. No, they can go off. My bad. My bad. I'm sorry. Incorrect. They will have 1 mana floating post Past in Flames here. Yep. So it's worth noting that if they go for it, they'll have a Gifts and Given with 2 floating. Or no, Manamorphose brings them up to 6. Alright, I'm deterministically dead here. I'm going to just concede the game. They'll have 3 mana floating post Gifts. That's just lethal. So we'll go to game 3. And I probably should have boarded in Bolt for the previous game. That's my fault. So now we choose between Underworld Breach and Acceleration. And I think we just want more interaction. So this is what I'm going to do. Actually, I'm going to get a little spicy here. I'm going to board out a Boseiju. Part of me wants to board out another Boseiju and keep in 2 Cantor, but I think boarding down to 16 lands is kind of insane. So I'm going to do this. Alright, game 3. Let me fix my configuration here. Alright, on the play versus Gift Storm. 1 land. Can't keep that. 4 lands. It doesn't do anything though. I'm gonna go to 5. Alright, so we don't want Breach. I think I'm supposed to bottom Ritual. Or do I just bottom the Reforge? Alright, I'm gonna bottom Reforge and just hope to create a miracle. Let's get rich, pass the turn. Draw. So if I play the Anarchomancer and it dies, I'm just set back to the Stone Age, but I don't see myself winning any other games, so let's just play it. Like I said, if they have Bolt, I'm just screwed. And they do. Okay. Yep. The mulligan to 5 is not going to go well for us. And there's Baral. Draw. Have to pass. It looks like they're just passing the turn as well. Ouch. 19. Draw. Okay, pass. Is this an end step gifts? We can veil the first one. And the second one, actually. That has been counterspelled. Okay. If they go all in on another gift, so we can veil that as well. Take 1. I'm not going to fetch here in case they do have another gift, so I don't want to give them a window. Okay, so I'm gonna pass. But I might want to bolt I think I might bolt their Brawl on their next end step. So we'll go to 17. And we're going to attempt to kill the Brawl here. Get out of here. We did see a Spell Pierce, so if they have Pierce here, they could try to protect it. Remand. We'll let that go. So they get a looting here. They discard Island and will attempt a Lightning Bolt again. This is a spot where if they have Guessing, given that they can cast it. I just can't afford to let them take too much more time, so I feel like I should just bolt here. If they have gifts, I don't know. Obviously, it's not great, but oh well. And they Spell Pierce me. Okay. They get the Brawl trigger. And they discard a Ritual. Okay. Draw. It's a land. I think I'm actually going to flashback Striker Etch. See if this resolves. If I get remanded, once again, they'd have a window for Veil, but I need to do what I can to start getting ahead. I can't just play defensively the entire time. That's a Ritual. If it's Past in Flames, are also dead, because then they could have mana open to Spell Pierce. Okay. I guess I could Veil in response to the Past in Flames. 4 cards in the opponent's hand. They're casting Wish. Sure. This is a Past in Flames. I think I'm actually just dead. I'm gonna force them to play it out, but I think I'm actually just dead to the Wish. Pieces of the puzzle. So they're playing around Veil of Summer. And they milled Past in Flames, which is really good for them. And they took Desperate Ritual Past in Flames. I think there was a shot that we won this if they didn't mill the Past in Flames, but it just doesn't matter now. Oh, they're splicing. Sure. I was wondering why their mana went like that. I can Veil here. Then they have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, Wish for Grapeshot. So they have it. Veil of Summer on the stack. My only hope here is that they don't have a sideboard Grapeshot. And that they whiff on pieces of the puzzle. Alright, we drew a ritual. I'm going to hit the F6 key and just let our opponent cast spells at this point. Alright. You got it. Tons of rituals. I'm at 12. Wish. And the Grapeshot. There you go. Alright, so we did not win this one, and we are now 1-3. Sort of a rough day. I feel like this matchup isn't bad. It's just we mulliganed to 5. It happens. Alright, match 5 coming up. If you're looking for more great Magic the Gathering content, definitely check out the Eternal Glory podcast. It is myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Brian Koval and Phil Gallagher. We primarily discuss Legacy. That said, a lot of what we talk about transcends all formats. We're available on all major podcast platforms. It's match 5. We need to win this in order to get 50 play points back, so that's what we're going to do. Good hand. We'll try it. Keep. I'm a little bit bummed. 1-3 is not how I saw this league going. I do think that this deck is better than what this league represents. I don't know. Like, sometimes you just don't win, and that happens in Magic. I'm not going to let it get to me. I'll keep on playing Gruul Storm. But, yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer, because I do think that this deck is actually really good. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, it's Shadow. We did lose to Shadow earlier in this event, but I'm not too worried. Alright, Watery Grave. Another Street Wraith. Island. I'm gonna go get the other Stomping Ground here. Land 3 would be nice, though. Draw. I guess we'll settle for a Wild Cantor. Pass the turn. 2 mana. Tainted Indulgence. They discard a Dress Down. Seagate Reborn. I guess it does Lightning Bolt yourself. Opponent's at 11. Second main phase. Are you going to cast a spell? Looks like you're trying to. Nope. You've changed your mind. Okay. Draw. Another Breach. Let's get in there. Pass the turn. Another Tainted Indulgence. Discards Fatal Push. Are you disrespecting my Wild Cantor right now? Come on. Come on. Sure, you can Thoughtseize me. My hand's pretty redundant other than this March. They take an Underworld Breach and a third blue source. They only have 1 black and it's tapped, so this could be a potential window for us. I'm going to cast this March. I'm going to pitch a Birgi. Okay. Draw. Goblin. Alright, I think we're supposed to cast the Goblin here. If they have Counterspell, it's obviously going to stink. And they do. Okay, so we're going to cast the Cantor here. This at least gets cards to our graveyard for Breach. Sacrifice this. I'm going to cast March. See if we can hit a land. Okay, done. I've been stubbed. Okay. So maybe the new Shadowless are all just straight Dimir, and I'm just, you know, out of the loop. I don't play that much Modern. I play like 1 or 2 leagues a week. But I definitely feel like I'm really behind in this game now. A third Tainted Indulgence. And this looks pretty similar to the previous list that I played. Obviously, we didn't see Tainted Indulgence out of them, but It looks about the same. Here's a Murktide. Alright, they have a giant 8/8. Draw. And I could not rip land 3 for the Birgi, so we're going to try using the Manamorphose. Yeah. We're in a tough spot here. Pass the turn. Our opponent has 5 cards in hand. We need those 5 cards to not be removal or counter spells. How realistic is that? They're fetching. Down to 5. There's a shadow. Rip. And that'll do. Alright, so we lost game number 1 versus Shadow. Alright, Veil of Summer comes in. We'll take out the Wild Cantors. Hit submit. Alright, time to bounce back. Game 2. We're going to win 2 games in a row. This hand seems fine. We'll keep it. Opponent mulligans. Wooded Foothills and pass the turn. They're fetching with Scalding Tarn, Watery Grave. They're at 17. Alright, we're just going to fetch in response here. Grab our Stomping Ground and let them discard us. No Veil of Summer yet. March down. That's interesting that they cared about March there. Draw. Okay, we're just going to pass. Opponent's now at 15 and they're passing the turn. Draw. Copper Line is good because it allows our Birgi to not be hit by Drown in the Lock. Obviously, it still gets countered by Counterspell, but we can't beat everything. Pass. Opponent with 3 lands up. Okay. Goblin, I love that. So let's play our Wooded Foothills here. Not going to sacrifice it immediately because I don't want it to die, or my Birgi to die. So I'm going to try to be a little bit clever here. What is this? So that is hit by Drown in the Lock. Interesting. Okay. So let's Manamorphose. We'll do red, green. Land. That's unfortunate. What can I do? I meant to grab a mountain there. That was a small mistake. So I can play Breach and Amorphose. And this actually gives me the Burning Inquiry win. If that's the case, should I Goblin Anarchomancer? Okay, done. Goblin. Cast the Wish. Burning Inquiry. Alright, so we should have this from here. Burning Inquiry again. I guess we get to see more of our opponent's deck here. I don't know what this is. Oh, okay. Dothy Voidwalker, that's not what I was expecting. Maybe I should have been, though. Storm's 9. I think I want a ritual here. I think I can just wish, win. Okay. Storm's 11. Wish again. Storm 12. They're going to cycle Street Wraith. And that'll do. Okay, so we got the second game. Time for game 3. Submit. Final game of this league. Alright, so we've opened up a pretty solid hand. I'm definitely going to keep this. And it looks like our opponent's taking a mulligan. Polluted Delta. So now we can hold up this Veil of Summer. Desperate Ritual number 3. Once again, no empty in our sideboard, so accelerating the rituals into Wish, not that good, but I also don't think empty is that powerful anymore, so I think it's fine. Alright, draw. Another ritual. We're just going to pass. It looks like our opponent missed land number 3. Okay. Draw. We did not. So let's say we cast a ritual here and our opponent counters. We can Veil of Summer, ritual again, splice ritual, wish, and breach. So I think that just means that we end up with... Alright, I'm going to go through this one more time. So we cast Pyretic Ritual. Opponent counters, we Veil. Ritual again. So 7 mana, we play Wish down to 4. I have Breach, but I don't think that actually does anything. Unless they... Hold on. That might actually be a win. If they fetch Shock, I could Grapeshot. Okay. So I think I'm going to end up going for it here. Ritual. Let's ritual again. Now we're going to splice. That resolved. Okay. Let's attempt a wish. Alright, and now they're taking action. Okay, they're at 17. 14. Counterspell. I will Veil. No green mana, so that's a little bit awkward. Hold up, I could get Wild Cantor out of the board. So if I get Wild Cantor... Oh my. Alright, so I cast Wild Cantor, I play an Anarchomancer, Ritual. Did we just win? Cantor, so I go down to 1. Ritual, Breach floating 2. I think we got this. Wild Cantor for the dub. Okay. Ritual, Breach. Okay, so now I can Ritual again. Remove land. Veil. And another Ritual. Storm number 11. Wish is Storm 12. Oh no, we're 1 Storm short. I guess I could like Reforge, or I'm sorry, Relay for a bunch, but that's it. He's single Storm short. Oh, that's such a bummer. Wow. I could put them to 1 and just hope that I'm able to attack with an Anarchomancer, or I can Relay. And I think Relay for 13 is just by far the choice here. Alright, Galvanic Relay. Pass the turn. Opponent's paying life. Is this a Dismember? It is a Dismember. Alright, they're at 10. Draw. Okay. So let's fetch, pull something out of the deck. Ouch. Player Goblin. Okay. Ritual. I think we got this one. We will Veil of Summer that. Ritual resolves. Now we can play the Birgi. Strike it rich. Auto yield. Strike it rich. Play this Underworld Breach. Only costs a single red mana, so it's free because we have the cost reduce and then the make a red, so it's just, it doesn't cost us anything. And now we can escape a bunch of cards. So it's Flashback Ritual here, or Escape Ritual, I should say. It's Storm number 9. Wish. Spell number 10. And Grapeshot. So, Wild Cantor was really the difference maker here. Okay. I mean, this league wasn't super impressive in my opinion. Like, there's nothing to brag about a 2-3. But I think this deck's great. I really do. Okay, so we went 2 and 3 like I mentioned. Let's take a look at the deck list. Here we go. Okay, so would there be any changes that I would recommend? I'm not sure. The main deck felt pretty good. You can maybe play one more fetchable. I feel like 5 is a good number because you need to keep your fetch lane count high for Underworld Breach. Beseiju was I could see myself going to like 1 Beseiju plus 1 Stomping Ground maybe. There are some cards that I think we should start to consider in the sideboard. Like, I haven't used the Blood Moon in like 3 leagues now. Maybe we cut this. That could be an Empty the Warrens. Nature's Claim hasn't come up in a while, but I feel like that's one of those cards I'm not sure if you're allowed to cut. I'm open to thoughts, questions, suggestions, whatever. Let me know what you think. There was a few times this league where Underworld Breach didn't have enough fuel, but then there was also times this league where Breach just single-handedly won the game, which is something that Abundant Harvest never does. So I think I really enjoyed the Underworld Breaches. And Wild Cantor was surprisingly good. It might be better than Ragavan in this deck. Maybe. Maybe. Let me know what you think. I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you for watching, especially if you made it this far. Have a great day and keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.